Hello, my name is Matimer, and today we are going to be listening to Briar's, or I don't know how to pronounce her names, ability sounds. So the other day, I meant to actually record this, but the other day, um, there were, I guess, not necessarily leaks, but this up here. The Skin Spotlights posted the whole list of her abilities and phases, and it seems like she has like emotions that's going to be part of like her whole kit, which I'm really excited about because I remember in one of my streams I was talking like I really wanted them right to go back to how like Rumble has like his heat mechanic, and then there's things like sets grit and all that stuff. I wanted them to make something interesting, and I assume hopefully that my theory that I posted on Twitter, TLDR, is her bar or gauge or whatever she has. It's mostly based on her emotions. So she's gonna start out like neutral, and then, or it's gonna start like happy and then neutral and then angry or something like that. Let me actually put this up. So the first things that come up is neutral from angry. So I guess it's her angry state to going to neutral, and then it has a couple phases, like two of them, and then neutral from happy, neutral from angry, and then all that stuff, and then enter angry phase and neutral phase and happy phase. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be really interesting on how Riot Games portrays this champion, whoever she is. Um, and that's why I wanted to like point out the little like neck lock thing that's on screen right now with the spikes. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a point where when she's in her angry phase, it's going to last temporarily, kind of like how Nar has his like Mega Nar form, how it only lasts like I think like 15 seconds or so. So I'm assuming that her abilities are going to change when she's in her angry phase, and then it's going to go back down to neutral. Like that's her, like obviously like neutral phase, and then it's going to go into happy, and then I don't know if something happens to where she can go from neutral or neutral or happy to angry. My theory was that it's going to act like an old bloodthirster where if you don't do something within a certain time, she'll get angry. Like because her whole gimmick is she's the hangry jungler. So I'm assuming that if you don't, get blood or something within a matter of time, then her gauge is going to slowly rise up from being, happy to neutral to angry. Oh, that's what it was. That she's going to start out happy, and then, over time, like her emotions are going to change from happy, like solemn, like neutral, and then angry because she hasn't had any, blood or whatever. And again, I'm really interested to see how they're going to portray this. And here was the teaser that was first originally shown that that has this really cool medieval looking castle, like Castlevania-esque type thing. I forget. There's a specific uh term for this type of like architecture, and I forget what it was, and I don't want to look it up right now. But anywho, the audio, well, like, the audio file is about 20 minutes. I got it off of Twitter of League of Leaks, so I'll put a link in the description. And so far, it's only just sound effects. There's no audio, because if it was audio, then we have a really clearer picture of what she's going to look like. So without further ado, we can start. Okay, so I wanted to say this before, but I started without describing it. For I don't want to start like because it the Twitter thing sectioned it off into 9 parts. So what I'm gonna do is after discussing each part, I'm just gonna have it play through the entire part and then give my thoughts. So I'm not like constantly pausing. So it seems like there's like Thresh's whole theme, like chains and shackles, and it really seems like she might be like not the slow like drudged jungler, but it really emphasizes the whole she is someone that is dangerous and needs to be, locked down. Thus the whole like the neck thing with the spikes in it. It's called something and I forget what it is. It's something really obvious. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I really forget. But people also theorize that the whole big thing that Riot is going to do is have like this whole experience, if you can call it that, in the client itself. Like you might have to go through like not like go through corridors just to get to like to get to games, but like an experience where you could like go through this labyrinth and just like find out more stuff about Briar or Briar or however you pronounce it. And I'm actually really excited because I want to see what Riot meant by this is their biggest, budget year. So let's continue. I'm gonna mute myself so in case I don't say anything. So this is number 2. So that was number 2. They really captured the whole atmosphere of this vampire, I guess jungler. It's gonna be this hangry jungler. My theory is listening to this, it might seem like because of all these like shackle sound effects that this champion has, it might be like a scenario with like Silas, except this person's shackles actually affect them because Silas's shackles, he can absorb magic with them, which, gives him an advantage to a lot of things. But this one, it is a disadvantage, and that's why she probably needs blood to get, happy again. Thus, the whole angry, neutral, and happy. But I don't know if they're gonna do a thing like with Blitzcrank, how when he uses his speed up, he'll slow down afterwards. If she'll have like a boost type mechanic where then she'll drain a lot of blood and then she'll be just like exhausted afterwards, and thus the whole the slow stepping sounds with the shackles. And I really hope that, because listen to this with headphones, because it goes from like my right ear to my left. It's really nice, and I really hope that it transfers through this recording to the final part where I'm going to post it on YouTube. But overall, it's just really nice. I honestly, after listening to two, I don't know how much I guess discussion I'm gonna have going forward, because it mostly sounds kind of the same-ish, because it's just a lot of shackles and atmospheric sounds. But I'll try to think of new things to come up with. So let's get on with number 3. Okay, so that was number 3. I was actually taking a drink of water, and then I heard the woman gasp and then the blood splatter sound. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So again, I got this off of Twitter. Hopefully it's legit, but it's sounding more like it might either be one, a mix of abilities plus whatever client experience that we may or may not have, or just the client experience. Because over time it seems like, because let me pull this back up. Where is it? No, not you, not you either. Let me see. These, the phases, unless they're going for a whole atmospheric thing, which I don't mind, but it doesn't really seem like there's much. Well, also it might, because we don't have voice audio. It is just strictly the sound effects audio. If these are actually what we're listening to's audio, because there are the phases, which might be just like either shackle sounds or atmospheric stuff, and then the into and from phases, and then enter and exit phases, and then whatever sleep mechanic that she has. My theory that I posted on Twitter is that it's not going to be like a Lilia sleep mechanic for other people. It's going to be a sleep mechanic for herself. I don't know, like, the best thing I can think of whenever I think of a sleep mechanic is the sleep ability from Kirby, where when he gets it, he's stationary and he's sleeping, and I think for most games, I don't know if all of them, but it heals him as well. So I don't know if this like sleep mechanic is gonna be a thing where when she's in her angry phase, she has to go to sleep in order to enter into her neutral phase. See, that's going to be something I'm really curious on, this whole like the sleep mechanics, because there are two phases. I'm assuming it's sleeping from angry to neutral and then angry to happy or something like that, depending on like whatever her blood mechanic or whatever it is. Because there's only two. If it was three, then it would be all for the for neutral to happy, happy to neutral, or whatever, so and so. You get the idea. And then I assuming that all these dance phases are going to be separately for her happy and neutral. I don't know if it's going to be a different thing for her angry, if she's going to be even allowed to dance while she's angry, because things like Swain's ult, I don't think it allows you to dance, but I think it still allows you to like taunt, but he won't move. He'll just be in his in his ultimate form, and he'll still make the audio sound effects to it. But yeah, I don't know what else is there to say. Let's continue. All right, so that was number 4. Just the same usual chain sounds and drudging. But while I was looking at these abilities, this right here, the AMB, is that a- ambient, like just normal phase? Because it would be like probably 1 would be happy, 2 would be neutral, and 3 would be angry. I'm just kind of curious on how they, because the obviously animation and sound effects. But I wonder, yeah, there's going to be obviously sound effects to her transitioning to whatever phase is. But I wonder, because this is a sound effect for each phase. I'm wondering if it's just gonna like have like lingering like chain sounds or like ambient like boom, like just background ambient sounds. But these animation sounds, I wonder if she's gonna have full on animations for each of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different possibly animation sounds. That's a lot. Jeez, right? You have a lot on your plate. And then you have these enter. She's gonna have like as many sound effects as Tom Kench's lines. Jeez. All right, let's get on with number 5. All right, so that was number 5. I do have something else I found out. So this was from Riot Meddler on Reddit. It said, you'll see her on PBE release between now and the next dev update. Dev updates are usually 4 to 6 weeks apart, though timing will vary depending on what else is going on and how much we've got ready to talk about. So usually we see stuff before they're on PBE, probably like a day or two, or even possibly a whole week, depending on, what goes on. And this was made, even though the screen cap says just now, this was released, I think like a week and a half ago or so. So we should be able to see at least more stuff. What's right now? August the 15th? Heck, I'd be willing to bet we'll be seeing something more about Briar by the end of maybe next week, probably like the 25th, 26th ish or so. And then another one from him saying that she'll be out before Worlds. Don't believe she'll be playable at Worlds. However, since she'll be a very recent release, possible I'm wrong on that, and she'll be disabled for playoffs but available at Worlds. We'll check. So, yeah, I think Zoe, when she was teased, I think she was teased at Worlds actually, because I remember the whole Rammus Sleepy Bubble little animation that they had. It was pretty neat. But I'm wondering this. I know I'm putting double images of the same thing. I'm wondering if this thing that she has, if it's if you're able to somehow take it off of her and put it on someone else, kind of like, you know how Darius makes enemies bleed with his abilities and autos and all that stuff. I'm wondering if you can like kind of like latch this onto someone like within a tether range and absorb their blood through that, and then that's how she gets her stuff, and then it'll like, I mean, this is very hepatitis B kind of thing, but like take it off of them and then put it back on herself so she'll absorb the blood. I really hope she has a good blood system so she doesn't get any any sickness or whatever. But all right, let's get on with number 6. All right, I don't know what that gray screen was. Maybe I didn't put the, cause I grabbed all of these off of Twitter and plastered them into Premiere Pro. Maybe I had like a tiny gap, but oh well. It Same thing. It's really cool how the atmosphere is like, whoever this person is chained up, they're just trudging along. I honestly don't have much to go off of. Maybe 7 through 9 will give me something new to talk about. I'm sorry. All right, let's get number 7 going on. All right, new theory time. I don't know if it's like, again, with the whole like half could be client, half could be abilities, but what if you are in like a new client? What if there's like a new client game where you're actually helping Briar escape, and that's where all these sound effects, like they could be uh like room transitions with the whole trudging, like the banging on the door, and I was just thinking like that would be really nice, and you could get like, I wouldn't say like get the champion. Well, who knows? Maybe get the champion for free if you like help her actually like fully escape. It'll be like a for those who aren't able to like use blue essence or like pay out front, it'll be like a the Sentinels thing, or at least the Spirit Blossom thing, where it's you can't play the entire thing all in one go, or wait, can you? I forget. But it's like it's not just like, oh, like 3 rooms. It's like a whole labyrinth, and that's why you're trying to help her get out so you can like get that reap that reward. And also, my question is, why does she have that thing on her if that is like a neck piece? Like, why would Noxus keep such? Well, it's Noxus, but if it is so dangerous to them that they have no other option than to basically lock her up, then what's the point of keeping her there? I mean, this could be like a whole Scion thing where they don't really care and they just like let him run loose, but this feels like a different kind of thing because like Scion's undead. He basically has no thought except run, kill, and destroy shit. Briar, on the other hand, she's a vampire. Like she has thought and plan and all that stuff. So like, why keep such a dangerous thing in Noxus if it could be, actually bad for everyone? I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. Let's continue. All right, so that was 8. I'm really curious on. I really hope because sometimes they do. I won't say sometimes, but like once in a blue moon it seems. Riot will like showcase how they made the sound effects for certain things. Like for Zach's sound effects, apparently they put like wet dog food in a condom and just slapped it around, which is pretty hilarious. But for one thing I can really remember for Pike, when he goes in his W, I remember them taking a video of them like throwing a camera or like a mic thing or whatever into like a pool, and that's how his W like got its sound effects. So I'm really curious on how they got these like really neat, clean chain sounds and like the trudging, and it sounds like pants in some of them. Like when they're walking, they have these chains like obviously on them. It's slowing their movement, but it sounds like these like heavy ass pants are like swiping back and forth when they're walking. So I wonder if they have like prison pants or like just drags or rags for like clothing or whatever on them. I'm really curious, and I really hope they like showcase how they did all the sound effects for this. All right. 9 is, I believe, the last one, so let's get going. All right, and that's Briar, all 1 through 9. So it's again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I probably am. Like the atmosphere, the empty loneliness, the echoing sounds, it all just puts it together. And I'm really hoping that Riot, like, this might, I'm not a jungle player, but I'm really hoping that she isn't like, exclusive to jungle. Maybe she could be played like top lane. That'd be really cool. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited about this champion. I'm hoping they can pull it off, and I'm still wondering what their biggest budget of the year is gonna be. It's August. But yeah, but that's about it. What do you guys think what Briar is gonna be like? Is she gonna be like this demented, like power hungry vampire? Because she's the hangry jungler. So I'm like, what are your thoughts about what her mechanics are? Because we know that she has possibly like an emotion based kit. So what are your thoughts on like what her abilities are gonna be like? Leave that down in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. And until then, I'm Madimer, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.